Welcome to The Explainer. All right, today we're basically jumping in a time machine and heading back more than 3,000 years to a world filled with cosmic giants, divine drinks, and some seriously deep philosophical questions. We are diving into one of humanity's oldest and most influential sacred texts, the Rigveda. So let's start with a question that echoes all through these ancient hymns. And this question, it's not just for show. It's really the heart of the entire Veda quest, this deep human search for meaning, for order, and for a connection to the divine in a world they were still trying to figure out. And I mean, what a collection it is. We're talking about a massive library of over 1,000 poems, all composed in the ancient language of Vedic Sanskrit. This isn't one single story with a beginning, middle, and end. No, it's more like a vibrant tapestry of prayers, philosophical puzzles, and powerful praises to a whole host of gods. It's really our best shot at seeing the world through their eyes from 3 millennia ago. Okay, so how are we going to tackle this massive text? Well, to make sense of it all, we've organized our journey around 5 big themes. We're going to look at how they imagined the universe was created, how they actually talked to their gods, what they prayed for in their daily lives, the big, heavy questions they asked themselves, and finally, the incredible power they believed was locked inside the spoken word itself. So let's kick things off with the biggest question of them all. Where did everything come from? The Rigveda dives right into this mystery of creation, but here's the thing. It doesn't give us one neat and tidy answer. Instead, what you get are these powerful, poetic, and sometimes even conflicting ideas about how the cosmos was born. Now, one of the most powerful creation stories involves the sacrifice of a cosmic giant named Purusa. And get this, the universe isn't built like a house. It's born from his body. His mouth becomes the priests, his arms become the warriors, his thighs the merchants, and his feet the laborers. So this isn't just a creation myth, it's a cosmic blueprint for society itself, embedding social order right into the fabric of reality from day one. But, like I said, the Rigveda rarely gives you just one simple answer. Other hymns get way more abstract, wrestling with where being even came from. This line right here suggests this totally mind-bending idea, that everything that exists actually springs from its opposite, a state of total non-existence. Talk about a paradox, right? Philosophers would be chewing on that one for centuries. So, the key idea holding all this together is a principle called Rita. Think of it as the ultimate cosmic rulebook. It's the natural and moral law that everything, even the gods, has to follow. Rita is why the sun rises, why the rivers flow, and why the whole system works. The main job for both gods and humans was just to keep things in line with Rita. Okay, so if the universe runs on this cosmic law, Rita, where do people fit into the picture? I mean, how did they actually communicate with the gods to make sure that this whole cosmic balance was maintained? Well, that brings us to the sacred transaction that was at the absolute heart of their world. Their main line to the heavens was through sacrifice. And the key player here, the real go-between, was Agni, the god of fire. He wasn't just fire, he was the divine messenger, kind of like a cosmic postal service. Humans would put their offerings, their oblation, into the fire, and Agni would carry the essence of that gift straight up to the other gods. And the number one offering, the most prized gift of all, was Soma. This was a mysterious plant whose juice was this divine, maybe even intoxicating drink. It was the favorite drink of Indra, the king of the gods, and it was thought to give him the power to win his cosmic battles. For the poets, it was liquid inspiration. Soma was so important, it was both an offering and a god in its own right. And this really gets to the core of how they saw the world. Sacrifice wasn't just about asking for stuff, like a kid writing a letter to Santa. No, it was a cosmic transaction. It was a duty. By offering gifts to the gods, humans were basically feeding them, giving them the energy they needed to uphold Rita and keep the universe running smoothly. And in return, the gods would provide for humanity. It was a two-way street. All right, so if this whole thing was a transaction, what were the Vedic people actually asking for? When they performed these rituals, what were they hoping to get in return? Looking at their prayers gives us a really clear picture of their daily lives, their hopes, and, their fears. When you look at their wish list, it's incredibly human. The things they prayed for are things we can all understand today. They wanted wealth, which for them meant lots of cattle and horses. They wanted to win their battles, have healthy kids, plenty of food, and just live a long life without getting sick or attacked. I mean, these are the fundamental hopes of any community, anywhere, anytime. And this beautiful hymn here, it just brings that whole idea to life. It's basically a prayer for a good harvest, but it's so much more than that. It blesses every single part of the process. The animals, the people, the plow, the rain. It turns the hard work of farming into this sacred partnership with the divine. But just when you think you've got the Rigveda figured out as this practical guide to rituals and prayers, it throws you a total curveball. Because woven into this ancient text are these incredibly deep, philosophical hymns that wrestle with the biggest questions about life, death, and what it all means. It's here that you see a really thoughtful, introspective side to their world. Wow, I mean, can you feel the uncertainty in that line? This is not a prayer for more cows. This is a raw existential question. The poet is saying he feels like a stranger inside his own head, wandering around fettered or chained up in his own mind. That's a feeling that is absolutely timeless. And then you get hymns that are basically mini plays. One of the most intense is this dialogue between Yama and Yami, who were the mythological first human siblings. Yami is desperate to continue the human race, and she pleads with her brother to be with her. But Yama flat out refuses. He says there's a higher law and that what she's asking for is a sin. And Yama's refusal here? It's a huge deal. He's choosing to follow the sacred moral order, what would eventually be called Dharma. You can think of Dharma as the human scale version of that cosmic law Rita. He puts this sacred duty above his own desires, above everything. It's this powerful statement that a good society has to be built on laws and principles, not just on raw instinct. And all of this, the laws, the prayers, the philosophy, it all leads us to our final and maybe the most mind-blowing theme of them all. It's this core belief that language, the sacred word itself, doesn't just describe reality, it has the power to create it. The way they saw it, the everyday language we use is just the tip of the iceberg. This hymn suggests that most of language's true power, this divine force they called Vak, is hidden deep beneath the surface. And the hymns of the Rigveda, well, that was their attempt to dive deep and tap into that incredible creative force. So for these poets, reciting a hymn wasn't just speaking, it was doing something. They believed that the right words, spoken in exactly the right way, could literally make things happen, could manifest a new reality. Their sacred speech was a tool to shape the world and bring it into harmony with the cosmic order. The words themselves were thought to carry the blessed sign, like the very fingerprint of truth. And that's really the thought I want to leave you with. The Rigveda is so much more than just a bunch of old poems. It's this powerful testament to the belief that our words matter immensely. It asks us all to think, does our language just describe the world around us? Or does it, in some way, actually create it, shaping our relationships and defining our reality, just like they believed it did 3,000 years ago?